The crisis in Manipur has taken a toll on multiple lives, but more than that, it's the children that are suffering from it. What impact does it have on the children who are witnessing these ethnic riots? How does it go into their system, and will it survive into their mental stability, or will it damage it also? To talk more on this, I have with me Suksham Singh. She is the founder of Lifeline, an association, an NGO that has been running free services for anyone in distress across the globe for almost 27 years now. Sukshmji, how do you see this entire crisis of Manipur and especially its impact on the children?
Well, what's happening is so tormenting for people like you and me. You can imagine that those little children who are just hearing screams and shouting and, I mean, wailing of people and the pain that they can feel. May not understand very much, but they absorb a lot. So it is definitely very detrimental that if they are not attended to now, when they have just going through the trauma. So we would only want that the organizations and schools, parents become sensitive to the fact that these children need that emotional support which they need badly.
The biggest challenge is most of the little children cannot even speak. From a toddler, an infant to adolescent.
Right.
Many of them are able to, many of them won't be able to utter what they're going through. But does it stay in that system, the trauma? How do you guide to handle that?
They may not remember, but the effect of what they have gone through will torment them or show up in some other aspect of their life. So you're rightly said, they will not verbalize what they have gone through, but that effect, if they have families have been affected by death and by rioting and what is not should be not happening to our society, happening in their presence, they will definitely be affected. So they need help. They need help from their families and the schools and wherever they can get.
You've been assisting people in crisis across the globe for almost more than 2 decades now. Everyone who calls upon your landline and the numbers is assisted to by listening to. How has the numbers changed, and how has the cases or the types of cases changed?
Well, it is such a need in today's day and age where we ourselves don't have time for anybody, and therefore when people in the family need to share something, whether it's an happy incident or something that's troubling them, they really have very few people to talk to. And that's when a helpline like ours, which is free helpline, and the objective is to give the person a confidential and a space where we do not even want to know your name and identity. That's when you can share what you can't share with family and friends. You can talk to us because of that aspect of confidentiality. And we are there from 10 a.m. to 10 p.m. We get calls from outside India, but we are more India specific. And there are other centers. We are a part of an organization called Befrienders India. We are all doing the same work. Our focus is preventing people from giving up on life. Life is so precious, and most of the time it's an incident, it's maybe a temporary phase in your life which does not deserve you to give up on your very precious life. And that's what our objective is. We extend our hand to you. Call us, hold on. We'll hold on to you throughout your that trauma or that crisis period. Call us 4 times a day. Call us every day. We have no problem.
Is there any possibility to share the numbers or kind of women, men, girls, boys? Who are the maximum number of people who call up, and what kind of help?
Well, I think everybody needs to know that. Do you know that more men commit suicide in the country? Why? Because their social networking is very much limited than a woman. And most of the time, the man wants to show the world that everything is hunky-dory in my life, but it isn't so. So when somebody says, "How are you doing?" "I'm fine." Are you really fine? Who is that person who's in front of whom that man can actually sit and cry? And that's where helpline like ours is there to give them emotional support during their time of crisis. We don't say that call us only once. We just say we are there for you. And we believe that it's a caller is crying for help, not wanting to give up on life, but that the circumstances sometimes push them in that direction.
What is that moved you and you started this 27 years ago?
You know, it's we've been in Bengal for many years. My husband and I, and one day we just realized that we were doing only things for ourselves. So now it's got a very professional name, a social responsibility. You know, so that was the time my husband 27 years ago just said we need to give back, especially to Bengal, because though I'm born here, my mother was born and my children are born here, but we owed it because we were doing our business from here. We owed it to everybody what we set up. And it was with that intention. At that time, Bengal had the highest rate of suicide, and that was what made us join this organization. It's an international organization called Samaritans in England and Befrienders Worldwide. And our focus is the same, where we all are there to save people from giving up on life. That's our main focus. But every caller can talk to us because their problem seems so huge for them. You know, we might trivialize it, but we don't judge you. We don't tell you, oh my God, why did you do this? We don't give advice at the drop of a hat. We don't. We just try to empower you to have the ability to deal with your situation.
What is your advice to the people? Because in September we see the World Suicide Prevention Day coming up.
Yes, it's a day to just let everybody know you're not alone. I think that's one of the most important factors for us, people at Lifeline and all the other centers in India. What we really want is people to know about our existence, know it's free, know you're not going to be judged, know that you're not going to be asked who you are, and therefore you have the opportunity to really sit and cry. We have callers who howl for, you know, but if we know that it's making them feel better. So they feel when there are many, we never used to get so many people telling us, thank you so much for being there. Nowadays, after COVID, we get such positive response from the callers because they feel that, you know, it's made me feel so much better. It sets their mind right. You know, sometimes you are overwhelmed with your situation that you're dealing with and you can't think straight. But when you are allowed to vent, then a catharsis takes place, so you are able to calm down, and then you feel, oh my God, we ask them, don't look at some options you may have to overcome this. We help them to make those decisions because you and I can never know what is the right advice. There's no question of giving advice because I've only heard one side of the story. If I say do this and they actually try doing it and harm themselves or harm somebody else, that's why we have been trained not to give advice. We try to empower the caller and make them calm down and then help them feel better. And that's what we are there for. We need nothing from anybody. We just want nobody to give up on life or be sad alone. We are born to be happy, and may we all have the opportunity to stay happy.
And as she says, happiness is non-negotiable. But this can happen only when you stay alive to share the same. With camera person Suraj Pandey, this is Manogya Loiwal in Kolkata for ABP News.